Coach, first of all, it's great to be back out here again in training camp. What did you guys work on the most throughout the off season?
We have a whole new offense and we have a whole new defense. So we started working on, obviously, with our coaching staff and coming up with our philosophy on O, philosophy on D, and how to merge it where our offense and defense basically is like simulated as the same thing. Basically, like the toughness, get the hand on the ground. And our biggest thing was just kind of come together as a staff and work on our personnel. Meaning last year we had no tight end. This year we do have a tight end. We had to get that position taken care of. Last year we had no fullback. This year we do have a fullback. So we had to taking care of that. We'll be under the center a lot more, also being in the gun, so that we had to kind of work out. So really it was unlike we couldn't do last year, we were able to do this year. Because last year, me personally, I did not have an off season with these guys.
Right.
Coming in a few days before Cam started. So, I just had my offensive coordinator last year. I didn't want anything broken. We wanted to run the same stuff, and same with defense. We didn't want any changes. And that was my biggest change from last year to this year. Now we kind of have it where it's my way, and this is how we're going to do things.
And that's what I was going to ask you too. Do you feel like going into this season that now you're really putting your own stamp on your offensive philosophy and your defensive philosophy both?
Absolutely. It is my philosophy on both sides of the ball. And Coach LaCava, who I coached with at Colts Neck a couple of years ago when we went to the States, we had the same philosophy. Mm-hmm. We have the same terminology. We came from the same tree, with Coach Gianarelli over at Raritan.
Absolutely.
And so really it was kind of meant to be, where I know exactly what he's calling over there. Terminology, play-wise, we're thinking on the same page.
Right.
So I think is huge for us right now.
Last year you were definitely a deep passing team, working out of the spread with Anthony Brown, and receivers like Ellington and Stapert. I know this year you're going to be a lot more run heavy, which really fits well with a running back like Chris Chukwinecki and, the two big guys you have on the offensive line, Micah and Jamal.
Right. Yep. Oh, absolutely. And just we feel, number one, it cuts down the game for your defense also. Mm-hmm. Because our offense scored so quickly last year, when we're throwing the ball and we're no huddle, the defense really had a lot of pressure on them, So where this year, we do want to take time off the clock. We do want to make, instead of like last year was more like a knockdown punch in the first round, mm-hmm. We want to make this thing last. We want to go, head to head with that other guy. We want just batter him. By the second half, we want to be able to be fresh and just boom, boom, boom. Just keep on pounding the football.
I think about even the state championship game last year when you guys scored really quick in the beginning of the game. It's possible if you guys would have been able to control the clock a little bit more, maybe DePaul wouldn't have scored so many points.
Right, and it goes right to our defense being on the field, the whole game last year.
Yeah.
Which is what we're trying to get away from this year. Right. And again, that has a lot to do with the same philosophy on both sides of the ball.
Now, defensively, what are you guys going to run now, and who are some of the players that you're really looking out for to make a big impact there?
You know what? You can't even pick out one player. We have so many players over there on that side of the ball, but we're a lot more of a 8-man front. We will be very multiple, and we're relying big time on our secondary. We feel we have a great secondary. We'll be in a lot of man stuff, man coverages, different man coverages. We're good up front. We're good defensive line. We have good linebackers. So it's not where I'm looking for one or two studs, because I feel we have, almost every position out there, is a stud player to me.
Right.
So we're looking to kind of utilize that. It's like, go get your hard hat, go get your lunch box, mm-hmm. Go to work. And that's the mentality we want to kind of bring on the offense and defense.
One of the biggest differences I can see already now is where last year I feel like some of the time it was about a lot of the individual players, where it seems now you're really trying to install that team concept.
Absolutely. Yep. That's it right there. When we say family, we need to mean family. And that's the way it is. It's not done by Chuck Winnick, Chris running all over the place. It's going to be done because our center, our guards, our tackles, and our tight end, all right, are blocking well for our running back, and our quarterback's doing the right thing. Our receivers are blocking downfield.
Sure.
So it is. It's that team concept where, last year was a little bit more loose in a way, where this year we're a lot more disciplined, and we feel in order to be a state champion, you need to be a disciplined football team.
Now, how's the quarterback situation been going for you? I know I was watching Matt throw a little bit when you guys were scrimmaging. It looks like he's got a pretty good command of what you guys are doing.
Oh yeah, great. We're not worried about that spot at all. I mean, we have two quality quarterbacks, fighting it out for the position. And right now they both have one scrimmage under their wing, and they keep on going at it each day in practice. And they're very similar. They both have strong arms. They both are learning the offense at the same time. It's not like Matt was in this offense already last year, because it's a totally different offense.
Right.
So they're really moving along like they're side by side. And right now we feel we could start any quarterback and, won't be a problem at all.
Now, what do you want to see this team improve on moving forward to get ready for the opener against Mattawan?
Right now we just, dot our I's and cross our T's. No mistakes for like on the defensive side. No mistakes like coverage-wise. We want to just kind of be sound and put them in the best spot possible to make a play. And we just want to keep on being more disciplined. More of a team concept where everyone's running to the football. Offensively, when somebody scores, the rest of the team, the 10 guys, better be on top of them. And that's that team concept where, we don't want Chuck just sitting in the end zone and Micah holding him up. We want all the rest of the offense on there and get them in the end zone. And that, we stress that in practice. Coach LaCava is big on that. No matter what we do in practice and whenever we score, get on them. Congratulate them. Get used to it. It's a party in the end zone right now. So again, like the little things we need to, like last year we had 18 penalties against Mattawan opening day.
Right.
We better not have more than 3 or 4 now each game, and we feel very confident in that. So it's like that discipline, and sound, hard-nosed, run the football, play tough defense.
And that'll definitely be a tough test right out of the bat. The quarterback, Jake Burlew, had a very good game against you guys last year.
Yes, he did. Yep. And, we're concerned about him, but we're concerned about their whole team. They always have great team speed. He's got a year under his belt, by playing there last year. So, it's definitely a good test. And, we opened up with him last year also, and obviously it's a big rival, the block down the road.
Right next door.
Yep. So, I think that's just the only way to start it off, and to be able to prepare for the rest of the season, because our schedule this year compared to last year is night and day.
I was going to ask you about that too. That's one thing that's really changed compared to last year. Your schedule is just absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, besides opening up with Mattawan and then having to play Raritan, who's a defending state champion in their bracket, of course, Rumson being in your division, but now you also play RBC, and you have Mid-South, who's a defending state champion.
And
Brick.
Yep. So it's we feel we were excited when we got the schedule, only because we feel this schedule this year prepares us for postseason.
Sure.
And it doesn't mean you have to go, you have to be 11-0 going into the state final. You just need to be. It's like the NFL in college. You need to be that hot team at that time.
Absolutely.
And we feel, game by game, obviously, but we are looking at the big picture, and we're looking to be prepared for that postseason play.
And I found that too, following Shore football for so many years. It's the teams that do catch fire at the right time. And, a lot of times the teams that are 8-0 at the cutoff end up not being as prepared, and they burn out in the first or the second round. I mean, look at Jackson Memorial last year. They were 3-3 and then 5-4 right before the playoffs began.
Yep. No, we definitely feel that the schedule and the right timing. It's all about timing and not being injured. Try to stay away from the injuries and take care of our bodies during the season. We have a great strength and conditioning coach, and Coach Hernandez. We're very big on nutrition. He's always speaking to the kids about what food to take, what to drink, how much water. You lost this much weight, how much water you need to get in again. So we're really being very conscious of our bodies and trying to prepare for the long season, as to all of a sudden you hit like a wall at one point, but we want to kind of just be steady the whole season. It's not us about having, scoring 45 points a game. It's
Right.
not that. That's not even in our. We don't even talk about that. We just talk about let's win the game, whether it's 21-0, 21-7, whatever it may
Sure.
be. We're changing that whole kind of theory and philosophy where let's not burn out like you mentioned. Let's kind of keep this thing going steady, the whole way.
And I've always been a believer, if you can hold opposing teams under 14, you're always going to have a very good chance to
You're
win.
in a good situation. Yep.
There's been so many defensive teams that have been very successful that have been able to do that.
Yeah, like the old cliche, right?
Yeah.
Offense wins games, defense wins championships.
Absolutely.
And you know what? We believe that. We believe that. So we're excited about it.
Coach, just real quick, I had a good talk with Chris over there. Just how important is it to have a guy like that on your team? And I mean, overall, is he just a guy that will do the right things on the field and say the right things, and a guy that now this year will have that role that he really wants? And not to say that he's in the spotlight, but it's something that will really help carry this team over this year.
Well, you know what? It's kind of I did have that 1 year of experience with Anthony last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the same thing, just at a different position.
Yeah.
Even Anthony last year, the kid never wanted to come off the field.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to play safety. He wanted to play corner.
Right.
And that's how Chuck is. I mean, when Chuck goes on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, he lays the wood. He brings it, and he brought it the other day in our scrimmages. But it's great to have that. I mean, it's a weapon. He's probably one of the best running backs in the state. And, with a good offensive line in front of him, I mean, that's why our whole philosophy is a lot different. Where last year was Anthony in the quarterback position and had a great arm and we had great receivers. This year we have a great running back and now we want to have a great offensive line. So, we need to utilize that as a coaching staff and, take advantage of it.
So I was going to ask you, how different is it going to be without your two receivers from last year in both Marquis?
You know what?
Is there going to be a difference in the way you guys form the offense? Or obviously, you've mentioned that obviously Chris is going to be a big part of it, but just what are some of your overall experiences as a coach when you lose two guys of that caliber?
We feel that they just got replaced. With Zaire and Sam East out there. Like, we just don't feel that you can stick 8 in the box. If you stick 8 in the box, we're going up top, and you better be able to cover those guys one-on-one. If you can't cover them one-on-one, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And we feel very confident with that, with all 4 receivers, even, AJ, Calabro back there also. So we definitely have the receivers.
Yeah.
We just want to even it out more, where we're not so much more pass to run. We'd rather balance it out a little bit more. Shorten the game up.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you very much. It's good to see you today.
Thanks,
thank you
guys.
for everything.
Thank you. Thank you.